Hi everyone, I am Sumalata, Assistant Professor, GRIT, Hyderabad. So first of all, I would like to thank IBM and Gurucool program for a very excellent FDP conducted. So we learnt a lot, we enjoyed these hands-on sessions, and I am able to do the project and these mentors or the LMS or the resources which are provided are really awesome. So thank you for that. And coming to the details of my project, I did a project on the diabetes mellitus prediction using IBM Auto AI service, which comes under the category of IBM Cloud application. For this, I learned the skills like IBM Watson Studio service application, machine learning, Node-RED, and different services provided by the IBM. So first of all, the main motivation for me to select this is diabetes is one of the terrible diseases in the world, which is not only a disease but it's a root cause for varieties of diseases like heart strokes, it may be nephro-related issues or blindness, different things. So this machine learning algorithms can save the time because normally normal procedure is regularly visiting hospitals or labs, testing and waiting for the result eagerly. All that we need to spend money, and first of all, rather than money, the tension for waiting for the reports, all that can be avoided by training the model appropriately using the parameters and building a AI model so that it will predict whether we are diabetic or not. The accuracy is very important thing here. Accurately we can do that. So this is the model. So for that, first of all, IBM Cloud so we need to go to the IBM Cloud, and there are number of steps followed here in order to do this project. So the steps are like, first create open Watson Studio and create a project, add Auto AI experiment to that, create machine learning instance, associate ML to project, load the dataset to cloud object storage, select the prediction parameter in the dataset, open the Watson Studio, then train the model, deploy, build web application using Node-RED. So all these are the steps followed in the project. So first of all, this is the IBM Cloud which is given to me. This is GL Sumalata, my login, and here number of services are there. So out of these services, I did internet, IoT, visual recognition, so machine learning. So this is the Watson Studio. We need to begin with the Watson Studio. So we can get start like this. Here it shows the overview of the projects. All this Node-RED, all this will be there. So here we can go to the projects, and in the projects here classification, and this is the diabetes mellitus prediction project. So this is the project I did. So here this is the database used, PIMA Indian diabetes data. So this data we have used for checking the validation, and this Auto AI is a diabetes mellitus. So just if I click this, you can see See, this is all the different algorithms depending on the data set we have chosen, PIMA Indian diabetes data. So it is having number of parameters like number of pregnancies, random glucose, blood pressure, skin thickness, insulin, body mass index, diabetes pedigree, function, age, outcome. Finally, outcome is the output, whether diabetic or not, 1 or 0. So all that is fed according to the database we are having, and depending on that the appropriate model is built, and here number of algorithms are tested, and we can see here the accuracies. So star is giving the maximum accuracy, 77% for this gradient boosting classifier. So which does the classification whether we are having the accurate result or not. So we can see experiment is completed, pipeline generated, and we can see even the comparison, different parameters we can see, this accuracies and all comparisons we can observe. So once it is done, then we need to deploy. So we need to deploy the model, and once deployment is done, then we need to build the Node-RED application. So after this step, Node-RED application is to be done. So before that we need to deploy. So once deployment is done, we can see, we can test and we can give the values here so that we can see the result here. So after that, for user interface, the Node-RED is used and it is done, and we can see, we can get a interface where we can enter the data. The person who is going to check can enter the data, and depending on the data he entered, he will be able to get whether whether she is diabetic or not. If 1, the result is 1, diabetic, otherwise 0, non-diabetic. So here the parameters we can give according to the data base we are using, PIMA data set we are using. So I am choosing some parameters according to that data sheet itself. I am choosing the parameters so that we will check. Once some parameters are there by default, we can reset and we can give the new values. So I am giving some values like number of pregnancies 6, glucose 148, blood pressure 72, this is 35, 0, BMI 33.6, this 0.627, age is some 50 years. Random, these are from the database itself. Submit. So once we submit, we are having here prediction is saying yes. So that means diabetic. Similarly, we can reset and give some other set of values, like the other set of values like 85. Sorry, this is 1. Number of pregnancies 1, and this is 85, and blood pressure 66, skin thickness 29, insulin is 0, and BMI 26.6, and this function is 0.351. Then age is 31. So if we submit, we can see we will get the other value 0. According to, I have picked from randomly from the data set and I have checked and I got the result whatever is there in the data set. So that means it is accurate. So like this we can predict whether the person is diabetic or not. If the result is 1 diabetic, otherwise 0. So In that way, we are having lot of advantages. No need to go anywhere. We can check by giving the inputs to the model. So once again, thanks to IBM Gurucool program for providing such an excellent opportunity for the faculty to learn all these resources and do the projects. Thank you one and all.